Hello and welcome back to Chem 151. We're talking about nomenclature, and this is the last of the videos in a series on nomenclature. There's lots to talk about with this stuff, and today we're going to talk about acids. My name's Tierney from Monroe Community College, and let's get started. So, how do you know if you have an acid? Well, the first element in its formula is going to be hydrogen. Now, there are two types of acids that we're going to be looking at today: binary acids and oxy acids. They each have their own way of naming. So binary acids, binary, if you recall, that means there are two elements, and so the two elements are hydrogen and a nonmetal. These are always started with a hydro, and then you use where this underline is, you put the base of whatever your nonmetal name is, ic and acid. So, for example, if we were to look at HF, it would be hydrofluoric acid, the fluor coming from the name of fluorine. Now, we always write AQ after it because we name it as an acid when it's in a water solution. Now, if the same thing, HF, was written, oh sorry, my handwriting's not too great today, as a gas, then we would not name it as an acid because acids only exist in solution. Instead, we would name it according to the ionic naming, so it would be called hydrogen fluoride. So that's according to the ionic naming scheme. So let's look down at our different names that we have down below in the examples. Hydrofluoric acid we just discussed. Hydrosulfuric acid would be a binary acid with sulfur. And then if you have a binary acid with chlorine, can you guess what it's going to be? Hydrochloric acid. Now, a question I often get is, how many H's are going to be in the formula? That's actually pretty simple. All you need to do is look at the nonmetal and figure out what charge it will have when that nonmetal forms an ion. Because all you're doing is you're adding an H plus to that nonmetal. So, for fluorine, fluorine has a -1 charge, so it's going to have 1 hydrogen. Sulfur has a -2 charge, so it's going to have 2 hydrogens. And chlorine has a -1 charge, so it's going to have 1 hydrogen. So let's practice this now. We have problem example 8, and if we look at the formulas of 3 binary acids, I want you to try and write down their formulas. So please pause the video now and write down the formulas of these 3 acids. Here are their formulas. Notice that nitrogen gets 3 hydrogens because nitrogen forms a -3 charge. AQ is included with all of these. Now, oxy acids are a different type of acid. Oxy acids contain, oxygen. That's where their name comes from. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be deriving some acids from polyatomic ions. So you should probably get out your list of polyatomic ions if you don't have them memorized already. What we do is we take polyatomic ions that contain oxygen and we just put ic or us in place of the ate or ite. Let me show you what I mean. So if we were to look at a nitrate ion, NO3-, it has a -1 charge, and so we're going to replace that with an H plus to make a neutral compound, HNO3. The ate from nitrate now becomes ic, and we call it nitric acid. If we looked at a similar polyatomic ion, NO2-, which is nitrite ion, all we're going to do is the same thing. It has a -1 charge, so we add 1 hydrogen, and then because it ends in ite, now the acid ends in us, nitrous acid. So, what I would like you to do is look at the following examples and name them. Notice that not all of them contain oxygen. Some of them, one of them is just a binary acid. Can you find the binary acid? Yep, it's B. B is a binary acid. So if you recall, binary acids always start with hydro, and then the other ones don't. With the other ones, let's look at A. A is going to be an oxy acid because we have more than 2 elements in that acid. And if we just look at everything after H, the SO3, I'm imagining that you can look on your list and find the polyatomic ion that matches SO3 and name it based on that. So right now I would like you to pause the video and name these 4 acids. Here are the names of the acids. Please make a note if you have any questions and make sure that you ask me in class when we go over this lesson. Now let's go the other way. What I would like you to do is I would like you to write the formula for the 4 acids down below. Notice that only one has hydro, so that means it's going to be a binary acid, and the other 3 are going to be oxyacids that you derive from a polyatomic ion. Please pause the video now and give these a try. Write down the formula of each of the acids. Here are the acids and their formulas.